Jake Paul has found his next fight.
Oh, my goodness. Seriously, is this a broken record at this point?
No, it's for real this time.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know how many more stories like this I can take before I just am so sick of hearing about this.
Well, this one sounds more legit than the last.
Okay.
Several. It is Jake Paul who has agreed to fight a boxer named Anthony Joshua. Now, we're not boxing aficionados, so I had to look up. Is this a boxer I should actually take seriously, or is this somebody that possibly should be in a home?
Yes. Is he reputable? Is he not a senior citizen?
This is a boxer who is, first of all, 35 years old.
Okay.
He has held the Unified World Heavyweight Championship twice, as recently as 2021.
All right.
He's fought recently. I think his last fight he did lose. But Anthony Joshua, I mean, definitely more real of a fighter, perhaps, than anybody that Jake Paul has fought at their current state.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably true because looking here, it seems like a lot of Jake Paul fans are worried about him.
Yeah, and just to get him to do the fight, so this is a fight that Jake Paul has said he agreed to this. This was being put on by a Saudi Arabian individual known as Turki Al-Sheikh, and apparently the terms of the deal, I have a hard time believing this is true.
Okay.
But Jake Paul would only get 1% of the purse, and Anthony Joshua would get 99% as a way to try to coax Joshua into taking this fight, because he very well may not want to, because Jake Paul, by some seen, is not a real fighter. Mm-hmm. I don't know why, but for some reason... This might seem like a little bit of a hoax for some reason. And so Jake Paul trying to really encourage this fight to happen, if all of this can be believed.
Well, we always have thought that kind of behind the scenes, what was happening with these Jake Paul fights was they were agreeing to this, fight contract or whatever to fight with Jake Paul. And in that agreement, it was just known that you are going to lose, or Jake Paul was not going to be knocked out. He was not going to lose, whether it was, a tie or something like that. But this feels like they're really trying to make it maybe that isn't going to be predetermined. I don't know.
I'm hopeful that this is actually legit.
Yeah, a legitimate fight, because I feel like we haven't really seen that from Jake Paul before.
It's also interesting that the person that we talked about that's trying to organize the fight and funding this, the Turki Al-Sheikh, is that he wants Jake Paul to lose.
Yes.
He's putting this on because he wants to see Jake Paul get knocked out. He said stuff like that he thinks it's good for the younger generation to have boxing stars or whatever, but he doesn't like the way he fights, and so he wants him to lose. And so he thinks Anthony Joshua is the guy that can do that, that can defeat Jake Paul and maybe put an end to the nonsense. So we've got half of a fight.
Potentially.
But Anthony Joshua hasn't agreed to anything yet. So.
Yeah, we'll see. And that's why I'm just always nervous when not nervous, that's not the right word, but I'm just always wary when I hear these stories and these headlines, because I'm like, it doesn't really mean anything until it's officially on the card.
And we know how it works, right? Jake Paul says that I'm only taking 1% of the cut. So, and then if Anthony Joshua doesn't want to agree to it, then it seems like he's chickening out.
Yep.
And Jake Paul can strut around like he's too scared.
He doesn't want to fight me.
And again, I know very little about actual boxing besides that Jake Paul just fights old people, or, all guys that are all washed up. But maybe he knows that Anthony Joshua very well would never take this fight.
Yep.
And so that's why this is the guy that's been called out, because it's like, we can say it's a real fighter. We called him out, and he's too scared or whatever. And we continue on living this lie that we've concocted for ourselves.
No, he just doesn't want to agree to that clause on your contract that says he has to lose.